Probably by tonight or tomorrow morning. Depends on how fast my upload speed will go. But yeah, who knows? But
No worries.
all right, let me get your form pulled up too. Okay, what got you interested in coaching?
What was that? Sorry.
What got you interested in coaching?
I have done a lot of self-improvement, and I think I have kind of hit a wall in terms of coaching myself to make myself better.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like there's probably a lot of very obvious things that I could be doing to improve my own gameplay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Makes sense. So what's your history in Overwatch? How long have you been playing the game?
I started playing like the day after the game launched.
Uh-huh.
I literally
One or
like
two?
I had one. I had a Target gift card. I went down. I bought a copy, and then I kind of just kept playing. So I've been playing pretty religiously since then. I played all the way through the death of Overwatch 1 and continuing.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
I was pretty much hard stuck diamond Overwatch 1. Uh I hit diamond season 2 or 3, and then I was pretty much diamond all the way to when it finishes. I peaked at like 33 something.
Okay. And you're
So
diamond now, I believe, yeah?
actually I hit masters last week.
Ah, my coaching is so good. They just anything, just
Yeah.
retroactively.
I
Okay.
literally I filled out
Congrats.
the form and I immediately hit masters. It was like I went on a tear, dude. I went from
Nice.
Diamond 4 to Masters 5, and then I went like 5-1 and hit Masters 3.
Dang.
So,
Congratulations. That must feel pretty good.
yeah, it was pretty good. It was kind of weird. I felt like I didn't really deserve Masters 3.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Once I started getting in like where half the players on my game were GM, I was like a little like, but yeah. So I'm Masters 5 now, and I feel like that's more reflective of where I actually am
But still pretty
relative
darn
to this
good,
game.
right? What is that, top
I'd like to
5%?
think so.
Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Though the game I just played that made me late, not only did we lose, but they had a lever last round and we still lost. And
No way.
that was a pretty bad
Ah,
feeling.
okay. Well, that's awkward. Okay, well, unfortunate. So you're looking to like level up your play here, looking at your goals and your form says understand the game better, rank up, and join a team. Well, okay.
Yeah,
We-
I'd like to scrim some more, just join like pugs, which I did a little bit in Overwatch 1 and it was so much better because I feel like a lot of games I have in Overwatch 2, like 30 to 50% of my losses, we just lose to like hero picks, which feels like
Sure,
much more of a problem than
sure,
it did in Overwatch 1.
sure.
So I'd
Okay.
rather be in an environment where like people actually care about that versus,
Okay.
you know,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
ranked.
Yeah. So why haven't you joined a team?
uh, well, I'm kind of busy. I work full time.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it. And then like I don't like I have some avenues, like I'm in a few discords, but I just haven't really gotten around to it.
All right. Well, if that's important to you, I mean, people around your rank, I would say people of your age, but people around your rank generally don't scrimmage a lot anyway. Like you're
Yeah.
talking about like once or twice a week. So I think it's probably worth a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we're talking about,
I feel like yeah, I'm playing enough that it like doesn't really make sense for me to not do it. So
well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of Sherlock and mutual servers. Get good. I think competitive Overwatch as well has a looking for team, looking for player.
okay.
The Overwatch 2 server, let me see if it does. Surely, I think it does. Give me a second. Looking for a group. Maybe it doesn't. I don't think it does. Okay, never mind then. Okay,
That's
so
kind
the
of weird.
Overwatch, I feel like it used to, but I don't see it anymore. Overwatch University does.
Yeah.
Team recruitment, coaching requests, looking for group, looking for scrims, all that stuff. So those are two that I don't see that you're in that I would start with immediately.
Okay.
And then you could also even go into the Open Division Discord. So I'm not in it, but you could just explore public servers at the bottom of Discord. Type in
Sure.
Open Division Overwatch, and then it will find the one. And I think they also do that in there as well.
Okay.
But if you want to like get to it, scrim once or twice a week. That's where to do it. And you're at a rank now where you're probably going to be able to find teams that scrim once or twice a week. I think there'll probably be enough out there to where you'll be able to find a team. So
Okay. Yeah, I would hope so.
okay, so understand the game better. Well, Is there anything particular that comes to mind, or is that more of a broad statement?
It's kind of a broad statement. I think um, I've always had too wide of a hero pool.
Yeah, I'm seeing
I
that.
I don't
Just a
really
little bit.
care about yeah, I don't really care about support or DPS that much. I think support I just haven't spent support I was always diamond in Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 I just haven't spent any time and it's like I'm like hard stuck plat. I can't get out of plat 1. But for tank I mostly played Rhine in Overwatch 1 and I would kind of play Monkey Diva sometimes.
Okay.
And then Overwatch 2 tank I play like probably too much. Too many tanks.
Okay.
So I don't really play Ball or Doom. Uh, and then like everybody else I'll like swap to if I feel like it.
Roadhog.
Uh no, I don't play
Good.
Roadhog.
All right, Zarya.
I don't have any respect for that hero, so
Zarya.
Zarya, yeah, I played her a ton in season 1 when the game came out and she was kind of busted.
Yeah, Queen.
But Queen I've been playing on an alt account because I think she's really fun.
She is really fun. Orisa.
Uh So, fun fact about Orisa, I am bad at her, but I got some dude on Overwatch University, like, VOD reviewed me a couple months ago
Yeah.
on Orisa, and, like, the whole VOD, I was basically like, he was really nice, but I'm just like, dude, I kind of suck at this hero. And then I tried to kind of integrate what he told me, and I was still sucking. So I kind of just avoided playing her.
Okay.
But I think the reason I might be bad at her is because I don't think my cooldown management is that great.
Yeah. I was gonna say my cooldown management is really good because it's like the one thing that like it's really easy to apply coaching to, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was good at Orisa.
Actually, I have an Orisa like code that I might want to review just because I think like it's a game I won.
Sure.
Because the other tank just kind of hard fed on Doom the entire time.
Yep.
But like I'd be interested in reviewing it just because I think I just bust cooldowns on her for no reason. And I think that might point to a bigger problem.
Okay. I mean, we'll look at it. We'll look at it.
Yeah.
Ram, Reinhardt, Diva, Winston. So here's what I'll do: is I've thrown pretty much everything at you. What's your percentage breakdown approximately? Do you have your career profile pulled up? Because that would be.
Sure, I can. I actually track every single ranked game I play in an Excel spreadsheet. And
you're one of those people.
Yeah, I basically play. I'll pull up both of them. I basically play. I've been playing a lot of Ramattra this season. I have like a 70% win rate on Ramattra.
Not for long.
And that's yeah. I will hit a wall eventually. Probably now.
That's sick though. And that's interesting considering you have bad cooldown management, but Ramattra is very cooldown management
I just swap. I feel very comfortable swapping between Nemesis and
Omnic.
Full screen. Yeah. There we go. Screen one. Okay, wait. Here's my career profile. But I have a ton. Okay, 63%.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, so like this is my breakdown. My Orisa win percentage is awful. And then I play a lot of Rhine because I played it in Overwatch 1. But then I had track like all my rank games. And then I have like win rates and everything.
It's fun, isn't it?
it's actually so fun.
Yeah.
And it makes me better in Excel, which helps me in like other areas.
Yeah.
But like I think I'm overcounting a lot of this stuff. But like even in this sheet where I think I'm overcounting heroes, I still have a 53% win rate on Ramattra.
Right.
I also suck at there's a couple maps I kind of suck at.
Well, that's what this is used
terribly.
for, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the win rate is already spoon-fed you by the Overwatch thing, so you don't need to do that. But what I'm looking at is I see 47, I see 45, 57, whatever. But then I see 72, and I'm like, ooh, interesting. And I see 37, and I'm like, ooh, interesting, right?
Yeah.
Or King's Row, for example, 34% win rate. Now, what heroes do you play in King's Row?
Mostly Ryan and Ram.
Okay, so that's a concern because those are heroes that you
Yeah.
should theoretically be good at, but that you're crapping the bed in King's Row,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So that if you wanted to ever use stats, that's your value
Yeah.
right there. The
Yeah.
outliers.
I used to be crazy. I used to have I had like a 9-2 win rate on Oasis, and then I just like recently it's not been happening.
Unlucky,
So
unlucky, unlucky. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, this is really cool. This is really cool. So going back to your career profile, though, a little bit messy.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe we'll get like a lot of this and this and this, and then just kind of like a couple of outliers. I mean, Winston's are definitely a little bit outliers, but even then, that's still 5 hours, right? And then you've got
Right.
at least 4 tanks that you have a decent amount of time in this season. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you heard me talk about dynamic hero pools before?
A little bit. I watch a
Yeah,
lot of your. I just watch throw on VOD sometimes,
right.
so
Yeah.
I've seen you mention it.
So you don't have to like shell the hero just because you're not putting a lot of time into it
Hmm.
forever. You just have to just basically for right now. This is kind of what I'm focusing on for right now. So for like this season, what's your three P? You know what I'm saying? What's your three
Yeah.
piece of heroes? Because like well, first off, how many hours are you getting in per season right now, or how per day?
Uh, it's pretty variable. I like travel a lot for work, so
Hmm.
I'll go 3-4 days without playing, and then I'll get back and have a day where I basically have nothing to do. But I'll
Right.
play a bunch. Like last week I played a ton, mostly because I was like feeling good, and then I
Yeah.
hit Masters, so it like paid off.
Yeah.
This season I put in more time than I put in any other season probably ever.
Okay. 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 So let's just
It's
say
like
an
100
average
hours.
week. What are you looking at hours wise?
I'm probably playing 2-3 hours a day average.
Okay. So
Like
then
during the weekdays.
sure, sure. So then that's kind of what we need to be aiming for in terms of heroes. So you're not too far off, but you're just enough to where you're wearing ankle weights. You know what I'm saying? And I will
Yeah,
say as well that if you prefer because you like ankle weights because they look stylish, and you have fun running around with ankle weights, that's fine. It's not like you're wearing 50-pound kegs on each ankle. Like you're not playing
yeah,
every tank hero. But if you want to be optimally improving, then that's what I would do.
yeah. I kind of felt that like last week or whatever, because where I was basically just focusing on playing Ramattra,
Yeah.
and like you can see like I jumped from Diamond 4 to Masters 3,
Yep.
and
That'll do it.
it was almost only Ramatra.
Yep.
Like I played like Sig once. Like
Yep. Yep. Yep.
so
Yep. I mean then that's what happens, right? The question for you is
yeah,
this is like, is that still fun enough for you? Right? And that's something you
right.
might have to just put
I
some
also
time in.
feel like I felt like okay, I feel comfortable playing Ramatra, Reinhardt, and like Diva at like a Diamond 1 to Masters 5 level. And then like, okay, I'm in Masters 3, and now I feel like I can only play Ramatra because I'm just hard throwing if I play anything else.
Right,
So,
right. I mean, that's where you're going to have to either play catch up with the other heroes that you care about, or you're
right.
going to have to just embrace the fact that you're just going to be a little bit worse, Because the thing
Yeah.
is you're gonna if you have the whole dynamic hero pools idea where like I'm putting time in on the heroes that I want to get better at, yeah, you might quickly drop to diamond, but if you're basically one tricking Orisa, she's gonna catch up.
Yeah.
You're gonna figure her out real fast. Um,
Yeah.
I just think in general, like the whole like cyclical approach to learning is just better than just trying to cram everything at once. Honestly, at least microcycles, right? Like I wouldn't say go a year without touching Orisa, but you can go 3 or 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without being a too big of an issue. But yeah, I guess just take that and use it as you will. Your playtime is certainly not an issue. If we're talking about ranking up specifically, especially if we're able to especially if you have like a couple of weeks where you're not taking 3 or 4 days off, if you're able to play more consistently with work and all that, then it's reasonable to get to higher masters and maybe even grandmaster down the road as well. But yeah, okay. Um, do you warm up? Do you have any other questions about training schedule here? Because it sounds like you have at
Um,
least a decent idea of what to do.
I to warm up, I basically will just play quick play or something until I feel good. Like
Right.
so sometimes that's like one quick play game. Like if I get a quick play game on control, like it generally those quick play games go longer, so it feels better.
Yeah.
But like I'll generally just play 2 or 3 until I feel good. Occasionally I'll boot up my alt. Like if I play 2 or 3 quick play games and I'm like, I don't want to play quick play anymore, but I don't feel warm, I'll play on my alt account,
Yeah.
which is like gold, plat, something like that. Yesterday actually I was playing ranked and I got frustrated, and so I just switched to my alt account and like difficult Reinhardt. I felt bad, and then I just switched back to my main account.
Yeah.
But
I mean, how long is that taking though? This whole process of warming up.
probably 20 minutes, maybe
Okay.
30 minutes.
Okay. I mean, I can live with that. I can live with that. Efficient in the interests of efficiency, obviously faster is better. But
Yeah.
as long as that we're pushing the bill there, because it's hard when you're playing tank, because you're like, what really is my warm up? I mean, to me, it's more about like getting your brain on and ready to compete rather than like mechanically
Yeah.
warm.
That's kind of how I feel. Like it's
Sure.
just that like if I were to like the beginning of the season I played a lot of DPS and I would play like deathmatch
Yeah.
until I felt good, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Sleep is pretty good. What do you hope to get
yep.
out of the session? Things to work on and obvious areas where I can improve. Okay. And then the last question for me is, what do you feel is holding you back from improving? You say making this mistakes in the heat of the moment, not understanding matchups properly. Elaborate, please.
Um I will tunnel vision, I think, fairly frequently. Like especially as Ram, it's really easy. Like I go Nemesis and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to kill the Zen or something.
Yeah.
And then like their tank will just walk into my back line or something. Or like yeah, I'll just focus on killing versus something else. Same with Diva, I think. And then yeah, I'll just make dumb cooldown or positioning mistakes just because I feel like my brain can't catch up to what's happening sometimes.
Why do you think that is?
Um,
Just a skill issue or what?
yeah, honestly, yeah. Like I've gone to the like I can look afterwards and be like, okay, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. Like I shouldn't have been in X position, or I should have been on the high ground, or I should have positioned like differently, like 30 seconds ago, and now I'm terrible. Um, yeah, I guess I'm not entirely sure. It's just everything happens really quickly in Overwatch, and so I get a little bit overwhelmed.
Sure.
I've
Okay.
gotten like I don't think I like panic ult too often. Like I feel like I'm much more self-controlled about that. But in terms of like oh, I went like 10 meters too far and now I'm screwed.
Right. Okay. Okay. We'll see if we can look at some of these in isolation in the gameplay. Not understanding matchups properly. I assume there's a few that come to mind when you say that.
Yeah, like I suck against ball.
As what?
Um
Everything?
um no. Like Ramattra ball, I don't really it never doesn't really feel like a good matchup because I
It's
can't
not.
do a ton to him.
All
And
right.
then like it's the same with Reinhardt. Diva, it's okay. Uh, Sometimes I'll like just be in a game and I'll be like, I don't know what to swap to or do, and I'm getting like absolutely pummeled by this tank. So, or I'll make a swap and I'll feel like it's just the same level of suck.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what's your swap philosophy right now? Like, give me a few examples of when you swap and what you swap to and why you swap and so on.
so this morning I was playing a ranked game and it was Nepal. We were on Shrine. I was playing Ram. They were playing Ball. I think we got like 20%, and then like that was it. And they were playing Sim also. And so I swapped to Orisa the second round, and we got to 99. Uh, they were playing Hog the second round, not Ball. So
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty good about that swap. It was on Sanctum. Um, and so I was just basically like, I cannot play Ramattra into this ball. I have to play Orisa or something.
Okay.
Um, and then also like sometimes it's like today on Havana, they were like my team was like, dude, we need to like they were playing Tracer Genji and we're like, we need to play a dive, like a dive tank. And I'm like, okay. So like we were doing not terrible, but not great. So I swapped to Winston and it was like a little bit better. And like then it was like it's like on Havana, so I can like
Yeah.
actually get to the high ground as opposed to like on Ramattra or Reinhardt or something.
Yeah.
I just try and swap to what I think will like counter the enemy team best, which
Okay.
I feel like it just boils down to that. But
Yeah.
because I feel like I have like a really wide hero pool, I can swap to a lot, but then I'm obviously better on some heroes than
Right, right. And I think what might be missing is that you're missing a level of nuance from like forcing yourself to play heroes in slightly suboptimal situations to kind of understand what the hero's limits really are. Like I'm not saying that like you have to
yeah.
hard force Ramattra all the time, but like for example, how do you play Ramattra versus Ball? You know what I'm
Uh
saying? Do you even know the
yeah.
answer? Do you know? If you
I would
don't,
probably have to I would think I would really have to focus on having really good ease because that will kind of mess up his whole rhythm.
Sure.
And
Sure.
then honestly, when I'm playing ball against Ramattra, I will most of the time kind of just ignore the ball because like he's running around in my back line. There's not a ton I can do about that. And then I'll just like try and kill all the squishies in front of me.
Right. So then you should be doing what Ball's doing, but do it as Ramattra, right?
Exactly.
So then all of a sudden though that changes how you use your E though, because you're thinking, oh, I need to use E for ball. Well, oh, do you? Should you? It depends, doesn't it? Because if you use E for ball, you
Yeah.
don't have E for backline, which means that you're not able to do to backline what the ball is doing to your backline. So you kind of
Right.
see what I'm saying though. Is like you need to know
Yeah.
the answers to that, and not only know the answers as you said, but be able to actually execute on that because
Mhm.
that's something that's not just unique to Ball versus Ramattra. That's also Winston
Yeah.
versus Ramattra, and that's also even sometimes in the Ramattra mirror, you need to be comfortable knowing that. And also, like, what happens if they swap Ball for a fight or two fights? You just go back to spawn? No, you have to play it out. And then
Right.
if you get the opportunity to swap later, okay. But that's something that I think that we just you need to be at least comfortable with, so that when you get put in those situations, you don't just like throw up your hands, and think
Okay.
about what will I swap to next fight. No, win the fight now. Then if you want to swap.
Gotcha.
Any other matchups that come to mind?
Um, Ryan, I guess there's Ryan Orisa is a weird matchup.
Yeah.
It's weird because I just my understanding of the Ryan Orisa matchup is I just don't want to I want to abuse the distance I can take with Orisa if I'm playing Orisa, and then with
Right.
Ryan I kind of just want to get on top of her. But I feel like none of that it doesn't always work out that way in practicality, of course. So I'm not entirely sure if that's like a correct
It
way to
depends.
approach that
It
matchup. And then
depends.
Ramatra Orisa is also a weird
Yeah.
matchup as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to look at some VODs? We can look at some of these matchups, or we can look at something different. It doesn't matter.
Um,
Well, first off, do you have any
sure.
other questions?
Not immediately.
Okay.
I don't think so.
No.
Stop streaming. Um, Let me think. I have four. Actually, let's start with this Circuit Royale VOD, which I won, but I was playing Orisa, and it
Is
was
there
very
a Orisa hero that you enjoy and want to improve at?
um I enjoy playing Orisa, yeah. I think
Okay.
she's fun. But
Okay.
I feel like that's one hero where I need
Okay.
help more than other ones.
Sure. You've come to the right place. Respectfully, the Orisa Wizard.
I think I start with Ramattra on this
Yeah. So
pod.
what makes you swap to Orisa then? Is this it
Uh
counters Doomfist?
it was the Doom.
Yeah, yeah. You seem very thoughtful about tank matchups, which makes
Yeah, well
sense.
it's a lot more it's pretty important in this game, I think.
I agree as well, but it's obviously not just that though, because I look at the
Sure,
enemy composition
absolutely.
and I'm like, ooh. If we were thinking about
Mm,
optimal tank swap here, I actually would probably prefer you on Sigma on this map, especially because I'm like looking at Hanzo, Mercy, Ana. I want Sigma. I don't want
yeah,
Orisa.
yeah.
Um,
I often will start Sigma on this map because it's the Sigma map. And my Sigma has improved just playing this map, but
sure,
it's like a very pocket
sure.
pick for me. Like it's definitely not the one where I'm immediately gonna swap to Sigma.
Sure. I guess the reason why I'm highlighting that is because I think your understanding of matchups might be a little bit incomplete because you're tunneling on only one aspect of the matchup, which is an important one, but
Hmm.
it's not the only one. And then also, it's probably dictating how you're playing because you're swapping to Orisa because Orisa counters Doomfist, which then means you're probably hyper fixating on Doomfist and not thinking about what your hero needs to be worried about for the rest of the enemy composition
Yeah,
and not the matchup as a whole. So, like right
yeah.
now, what are your priorities as Orisa? What is Orisa good at? You probably don't know this as
Um,
much, but give it a shot.
she's good at dis displacing people and punishing like bad positioning and making it worse.
Okay.
She's good at her spear is on a relatively low cooldown, so you can protect against like a Doom coming in or even a Genji coming in if you like are careful about deflect. She has
Sure.
a decent amount of range, and she's not very diveable.
Sure. Sure. The way I look at Orisa is sometimes you go pokey pokey, sometimes you go and that's pretty
Yeah.
much it. Okay? As simple as
Okay.
you can. That's all there is to it. Who do you go to on the enemy team?
On
In other words, who do you run over? And 6-year-old
I can run over a Hanzo if I just kind of spin into him. The Ana if I play around her cooldowns
Yep.
well.
Yep.
And then the Mercy if I can spear her.
Okay, so
is
who do you
really
pokey
easy for me.
pokey?
Probably the Hanzo.
Yeah.
Until I can close the gap.
Maybe you have to be careful about that because you have no way to damage mitigate without using your javelin spin. So theoretically, if he's hitting his shots, you got to be careful, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to lose that HP trade. So then who do you pokey pokey?
The Mercy.
Sure. Genji, right? Doomfist,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the nuance of Orisa. You're playing a very mid-range hero, and you're also playing a hero that's very on or very off, depending on the status of your cooldown. So okay, let's go.
Yeah, see,
I
feel like I just busted Fortify for no reason.
Well, also, like, I see this here, and I'm like, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. So you're focused on Doomfist right now, but why worry about Doomfist right here? I'm thinking here, from your position, I might swing to this point here and look to take an angle here. See if I can shoot Mercy, shoot Genji. Obviously, play cover corner, but just something to think about.
I think I lost track of the Genji too.
Right.
Oh, there he is.
Now, this is what separates men from boys. Okay. You're trolling. All right. You can't be here. You can't be here. You need to anticipate your immediate and painful death right now. Because your cover usage is not amazing. There isn't a lot of great cover here. That's just the nature of the map, right? But you just quote unquote wasted Fortify. Maybe it was okay. Like it wasn't the worst Fortify in the world. Quote unquote wasted javelin spin. Okay, you're cooked.
And now I have no cooldowns and I'm just staring at the enemy team.
Right, you're cooked.
Yeah.
Right. You're cooked. You should die here. But do you see how even inside Kiriko ultimate, you almost died?
Yep.
You gotta know.
I tried to spin that Hanzo the other way.
I will say this as well. When you're fortified here, just shoot.
Okay.
Don't spin. Just shoot. You do more DPS shooting than you do spinning. I know what you're trying to do with the spin, but it would have been better if you just shoot him. He would have died here.
Yeah.
And then obviously...
And then I would have spin for the
And then you'd have spin.
blade.
Right.
Yeah.
Spin. Back. Fortify. You're a little boy again.
Yeah.
Because in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, I'm out. Too much. Even just a little bit. Just right to here. Right. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I know you're thinking about ultimate. Oh, maybe.
Oh.
And
I get nothing with it.
No. See, this is what you have to do. This is like the Orisa bait, where you are thinking, oh, I've used one cooldown, let me just use the other because it's ticky and fun and shooting and damage. Like, okay, so the ultimate gets no value, right? Unfortunately. The javelin also gets no value. That sucks.
Yep.
Okay. So then we're shooting the Doomfist because it's the only thing that we can see. I fortify because I get low. Unfortunate, we're really squishy. Okay.
Yep.
Why on earth do you javelin spin this?
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
See, the problem, I'm being tough on you, but the problem with this is the problem with this is that it's not just the fact that you're layering your defensive cooldowns instead of, not you're layering, you're stacking. You're doing it at the same time instead of one, then the other, then one, then the other. But also, when you're fortifying, what's the passive benefit of fortify?
The cooldown or the heat reduction.
So your gun is that much more effective, and yet you're javelin spinning. So unless you have a really good reason to displace somebody, or you're like literally 1 HP, I'm going to die, I need to try and javelin spin this, even with fortify. This makes no sense, right? Now here's another question: if you were fortifying here, what would you be shooting?
I should probably shoot the
Yep.
Hanzo just
Yep.
sitting by
Yep.
himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is the tricky thing because it's very easy to shoot Doomfist,
Because
but
he's in my face.
because he's
Yeah.
in your face,
And
now
he's purple.
and he's
And
purple,
it's
right?
just like
But as soon as you see power block, you go no, and then you look at the aggression from somebody else who's literally right in front of your face. This is much more value. I mean, remember your job as tank is like to pressure the enemy team, to control them, either to create space or deny them from taking space in your team. If this Hanzo's allowed to play here, maybe he gets a headshot. Even if you don't get the kill, you force him back, you've created and defended your team. This is just, and then now obviously, even at full HP, you are at a major risk right now of dying.
Yeah.
Or having to back up at a really crucial time when really you should have been like, okay, fortify. Not only am I doing more damage because I'm shooting in fortify, but now I have my javelin spin so I can stay here and then spin if I need to.
Yeah.
Like right now, like there's your fortify, like or there's the nano, right? That was a oh, my tank is getting sandblasted nano.
Yeah. I feel like this whole fight, I haven't had a really clear like direction almost.
Sure.
Of like I need to like I'm chaotic. I'm constantly switching between targets and I'm just like on the payload and like that's my like single monkey brain thought and I'm not really thinking about like anything else.
all you do is you play some sort of cover, you shoot what's available, what's the most pressurable target, whether it's a squishy that's close or a tank that's close. And then you cycle your cooldowns to try and buy as much pressure as you possibly can. As much pressure. And then obviously doing it around where your team is positioned. And your team is here, so this is fine. So let me ask you a question right now. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, so we do end up winning this game, but I felt like after I won this game, it was like in spite of me. Because my tracer was like popping off the entire game. Like she was getting like 2Ks the whole game. And it's like, okay, we just win the fight. Like that's it. And then like I remember like close to the end, there's like when we're attacking third and they're just sitting on the high ground. And I think I can't even remember. I think I swapped, but I felt like I was doing nothing. And then we just won the fight. And I was like, okay. So that's what I felt like this whole game. And then like this one, like I keep getting like my ass saved by like this nano. Like I would have died, for example.
Right.
And then I'm like way far in there. Yeah. So yeah, this was a very like chaotic fight, but I felt like I didn't have a ton of direction.
Right. So let's give you that direction right now. So you're nanoed right now. What should you do?
Shoot a squishy. Probably the Hanzo.
Now your weapon's about to overheat.
And I already used fortify. So I should try and I guess I should try and hit a spear. Okay.
What's the problem with hitting a spear right now?
He's probably just gonna fly off the edge and go away from me.
Right. So and you want them close. So what I might do here? Well, you tell me what cycle your cooldowns for me. Now this is hard, right? This is what gives Orisa the complexity. It's like being able to juggle all these things. So you tell me, Min-Max, what do you do?
I think I spin.
Okay. Now before you spin, you've got a couple bullets left before you overheat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple bullets. You spin in on who?
Hanzo.
Okay, then?
Maybe Mercy to my right, but she'll just fly away probably. So.
Yeah, Hanzo's accessible. Okay, so you shoot, spin on Hanzo, then what?
If I have a spear and a wall at that point, like if I can get him into that, whatever the round thing is, like I could spear him, and if not, probably just shoot. But I think my ideal thing here would be spin, spear him into the statue. I don't know what you call that thing.
Yeah, sure.
And then shoot, because by that time I'll have like probably a third heat and I'll be able to do it.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And you're talking about going hyper aggressive. Why is that going to work? And you're using one of your cooldowns to push instead of using it for like defensive
purposes. Because I'm nanoed. I don't know where their honor is, but their mercy is just chilling back there. Everybody's going to look at me, and then the Doom's going to be by himself.
Right. So look at your bottom right. You're going to use your javelin spin in. You're nanoed right now. What's going to happen by the time the nano expires?
I'll have fortify.
You'll have fortify, or you'll be very close to fortify. You always need to be thinking one step ahead. Okay, so let's slow this down. Yeah, but you stopped.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But you should have been thinking in the back of my brain, I have nano, or fortify, excuse me. I have nano and fortify. I can go more aggressive, and then by the time the fortify is expired, what are you going to have back again?
The other 2 cooldowns.
The other 2 cooldowns. You're gonna have spin again.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, the Hanzo just leaped. I wasn't even thinking about
Yeah,
it.
and obviously those javelins need to hit.
Get But yeah, see, that's like a fight again where it's like we won, and it just like was dumb. Like now this Doomfist is just kind of ending.
By the way, why javelin spin that?
Yeah.
You know,
I saved his life.
You saved his. Well, you saved his life, but it also means right now you don't have javelin spin, and there's a Genji on you. You need that cooldown. I mean, it's fair enough. Spin.
Yeah.
Cover. Probably fortify. I think you're a little low for this. Yeah, you need to be more aware of our HP. Out, 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 out. Oh, no. See, here's another one. If you're gonna spin here, where do you spin to? Because you can't stay here.
Probably cover behind me.
Yeah, cover behind you. Spin. Well, okay, so but that would mean turning your back. No.
Yeah.
How about this? Spin, looking at the enemy, but you sidestep and you tuck in here, and you grab the mega health back.
Yeah.
And you set up an off angle, try to like play around cover, play around mega, and just basically be like, hey, I'm gonna try and buy as much time. Because the thing is that as soon as the spin expires, well, you get the Hanzo. That's huge, but really, really, really high chance of just dying there, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Good target priority.
There's a high chance. That was a good dragon too. It definitely could have killed my support, and I wasn't even thinking about it. Yeah.
Good, right? Closest target, most available target, most pressurable target, right?
Mm-hmm.
Javelin whiffs, tragic. Yeah. Why are we spinning?
I think in my head I'm like, I gotta isolate her, but she's Moira, so that's
she's already isolated, you know. Like it just shoot her. You lose so much DPS by that spin.
Yeah,
it does so much less damage. Nicely done. True story. I was playing Orisa here a couple months ago. Javelin to Kiriko was spamming me for over here, off the map. It was great.
Oh, that's such a good feeling.
It was great.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. And you hack. I mean, you know this obviously, but even your ultimate is used about like chaining your survivability, right? One, then the other, then the other, then the other, then the other, right?
Hit free.
Now, is that a good use of your spin, which you just did?
I'm actually gonna say yes, because I was thinking he was gonna just dash into my backline.
Sure.
And it's easier for me to just boop him off there and then deal with him in a few seconds.
Sure. Sometimes to displace somebody, it's worth it, but you have to ask yourself every time you do it: was that displacement reasonable, or is it just me pressing a cooldown because ticky? You know, like we're at a point in time now where like just using cooldowns for the sake of using cooldowns doesn't make sense. Now I will say that this makes sense. You know, okay, we get it. I think we also caught damage orb as well, so that's cool. But
Right.
See?
Yeah, I think that spear was kind of dumb too, because even if I did spear the Mercy, I almost certainly was not going to kill her.
Right.
And then now I don't have spear, though.
Okay.
I guess
does a spear need to get killed or have a chance of getting a kill for it to be valuable?
No, because the Mercy's going to freak out.
Right. So the question was, is it good pressure? Not is it a good, is there a chance of getting a kill? So like right now, if I land this javelin, I pin her, maybe the enemy team kind of freaks and she's delayed. Not the worst spear, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I think my major problem was
if I have speared now,
yeah,
there's 3 of them right there. Or I can spear the Doom that's
if there is a problem, it was how low of a percentage chance the spear was going to hit in comparison to what was going to happen literally 2 seconds later, where the spear chances were infinitely higher. It was not that the Mercy wasn't likely to die, it was just the fact that it was very hard to hit and there's an easier spear immediately available here. That's my problem. Fortify. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it.
Look, I ult.
Very good.
I was not expecting to get kills there either.
I mean, it's okay. It's CC. It pulls them in. It's good damage, right? 100, 150 damage or whatever. It's all right.
We only use 1 ult and we win the fight, too.
By the way, with Doomfist block, if you see that they're just feeding Doomfist punch, just spam him with spear. Because it's going to feed his punch anyway, but at least you get the CC out of it, you know?
Right.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
I just think, like, people are like, oh, don't shoot the Doom, don't shoot the Doom. But I'm like, if he's already powered up, it doesn't even matter.
Right. Nice.
Dude, this is so dumb. I remember this.
Stop. Okay, this is your is your psychology showing up front and center, full color.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's hard, but even if you miss half of your shots, this is going to matter more. Right? You're so obsessed.
And then I wake up the Sleeping Doom, and he almost kills my support.
And then your Genji pops off.
We lose this fight, and we lose the point. That's what happens right here.
Disaster.
Because, yeah, we pushed up and killed 3, and then they just touch and get a response.
Okay.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Fortify now. Don't before you lose your armor. Yeah. That spear needs to hit. No,
Yep.
don't just spin. Don't just spin.
Yeah, see?
Don't just spin.
It's the ticky. Like, oh, I hit a spear. Like, oh, I saved my own life. Like,
Right.
better hit the other cooldown.
Right. Just shoot the Reaper and then fortify and look at the Reaper now and just buy time, right?
Yeah. It's a winnable fight too. Oh, I guess my trade moves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's the habit that we're looking for. Oh.
Yeah, that was a stupid old.
Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna hindsight coach you. You know, everything lines up if you did what I say. Ha ha ha. If you were at 250, 300 HP here because you'd actually used your cooldowns properly. Maybe this Lucio dies. I don't know. I think this fight's lost. Whatever. Nah, it doesn't matter. Okay. Surely we're gonna clutch this one out now. Now the other thing with Orisa as well is it's like you got to think like a Reinhardt too. Like you're not gonna have a lot of mobility with where you can position. But I'm thinking, can you go out top here and then drop from high ground there, right? Just to make sure the Doomfist isn't up here. Clear this angle, clear this space before you have to go stop cart, before you have to go front line. And then even when you're rolling out, should you roll out here? Or should you roll out here?
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
One clears this high ground, one goes straight to cart. Both of them will end up fighting on main, and that's a lot of what Orisa will do, but you're taking the opportunity to at least clear and hold and make sure that there's nobody on high ground. Because unless they're on like a Reinhardt or something like that, nobody can beat Orisa toe-to-toe 1v1. Nobody. So if there's anybody here, they will have to leave, and that helps your team out. Right?
Yeah.
There you go. And versus this composition as well, you notice something. Like, look at their composition, right? What do they lack compared to what they had earlier?
A range?
Right. So then what kind of utility can you utilize here? I mean, you're doing it right now.
Range.
Right.
Yeah.
Range. Right. You could just shoot people, right? Now you could still brawl with them, but you could force cooldowns and do damage just by using your mouse one.
Sitting there in the back, yeah.
Yeah.
They swapped to Mercy Lucio to touch too.
Yeah, so it's a big mess. Big mess.
Yeah. They're kind of running on fumes.
Right.
And we haven't swapped anything.
So who should you shoot right now is the real question.
Oh, this Genji coming around to my left.
It's tricky, isn't it? See, this is the thing. Is it Doomfist? Is it Reaper? Is it Genji? Honestly, I don't care. I think all of them are reasonable targets, right? Mm-hmm. But like, let's say this Genji was on cart, definitely Doomfist. Let's say this Doomfist was on cart, definitely Genji, right? You kind of vary depending on who you shoot, depending on how aggressively they are, and obviously a DPS is generally better than a tank. But what if the tank is playing more frontline, right?
And that Doomfist like definitely wants to go behind me, like to the right.
Here it is again. So you get slammed. We fortify, okay. We javelin. The spin, we still have a full 1.5 seconds on our cooldowns, you know? We don't need javelin.
Yeah.
And I think a little bit of mechanics as well would definitely help a little bit too. Just getting more shots is obviously helpful.
Yeah.
Because you might die here, and it's gonna be a question of if you'd had 1 more second on X cooldown, you know?
My mage rolled, dude.
Yeah, I think you're cooked.
She probably... Actually, I don't know. We'll see. I was at
Maybe?
200 health there.
Walk. Yes. No! Oh, Ajax.
Dude, I have spear too.
Ajax.
I have spear. Do I hit it? I don't think I do.
See, he's cheating. Look at this guy.
I pushed him into the stairs though.
True. What is your mate doing? Like, what are these walls? I swear she's just like walling randomly. Why did we go this far back?
Yeah, wait, what?
Just like walls air. Okay. Is there any more Orisa gameplay in here? I wouldn't mind a little
Maybe...
more. Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't mind a little bit more, especially on some attack here. Okay, so what are you seeing so far? What needs to be improved?
I'm just spinning for no reason.
Yep.
My javelins aren't terrible. But I just like to
Yeah.
bust all my cooldowns at once.
I would say, let's put it this way. I think your target priority with Javelin isn't terrible. You're trying to go for squishies when they get a little bit too aggressively. Like, the thing is you can Javelin tanks all the live long day, but
Yeah.
are you going to get enough HP off of that Javelin to make it valuable?
Right.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Especially if there's something like a Reinhardt or like an Orisa with Fortify, it just isn't worth it usually. So usually you need to go for the more lower percentage, but if you hit it, it's a lot more. So your target priority is good. I actually don't think your mechanics are that good. Not for like somebody who wants to, like, if we want to get you to the low masters Orisa, they need to be better than where they are right now. So take a second to kind of aim them and then really get them off. So javelins, mechanics a little bit. The big one, like you said, is just spinning for no real reason, especially when you're already fortified. It's like frustrating. What else?
Yeah. My positioning isn't fantastic.
When is your positioning not fantastic? Go back to your cooldown management, right?
Yeah. Like that fight on like the ramp.
Yeah.
I was just constantly in the wrong place.
Right.
And I think that was partly related to my target priority, because I was just like constantly like, I gotta get this guy, I gotta get this guy.
Yeah. Very tank focused. I think it's like you know, you just knowing, okay, I have Fortify, I have Javelin, I can play this position. I don't have those cooldowns, I cannot play this position.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that's like everything over the Orisa comes back to cooldowns, really. Because the cooldowns themselves affect how you position even, right? That's what they go Javelin, force it back. Now, kind of going back to what we started with, right? You want to, you know, some people and pew some people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can shoot Hanzo, but you got to be careful, right? At some point, this comp, we're going to need to try to get on top or closer to that Hanzo and Soldier, or take angles and shoot Doomfist where the Hanzo and Soldier can't see us, right? Because we even though we're probably the second pokiest tank in the game or the third pokiest tank in the game, we just don't win this trade. You know, we just don't win.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you're thinking about it, but.
He's pocketed though,
and you got
and everybody else
spawn, right?
Back
so
there,
so think of it like a Winston, right? Think of it like you're slowly staging and taking space, walking forward. Where do you go next? In the next, like, say 10 seconds, where would you go?
I think I would probably swing to stairs.
Yes. Why?
Because they're all chilling on the high ground, and then I have a really good angle on that Hanzo.
Yeah, close and cover. Like, yes, the Hanzo can shoot you, but only the Hanzo can shoot you.
Yeah.
Right? And you're at a closer range, too. So then what do you do from here? Next step. Step 1, step 2.
Spam the Hanzo a bit, probably see what he does, and then swing to the actual high ground.
Yeah, then from here.
Because they're running...
closing the distance, right?
They're running a Soldier.
Right. So you're closing the distance. Then from here we go from here, and then from here we go to, like, you know, here, and then from here we go to here, and then here we go to here, and then from here we go to, you know, and so on, right? Like, but like that's kind of like our mindset, right? Now, what if they run a comp like, let's say, Reaper or Tracer, like a Moira, Winston, something like that, someone with like we saw it earlier, right? The Doomfist and the Reaper. How would you position here?
Still so like close. Winston, Reaper, Tracer, or something like that.
Just like, let's just say what they were playing on the attack on third point, right? Something.
I'd probably play this corner this corner by the right stairs, or
right
no,
here?
the other corner.
Or here.
This corner a little
more spam.
Yeah, because then my supports have like some protection, and I can just leave if I need to.
Sure, but lots of shooting, right? Lots of shooting. Yeah. Okay. But you can't be here. You know, this is the thing. It's like you're just standing in the open.
They're all looking at me. They have a better position
because obviously you don't die for it. You don't even get shot that much. But that if that's even a slightly better team, you have to use Javelin Spin.
Yeah.
Just to move there. When I want you to be able to walk here without using any cooldowns at all.
Yeah.
Fortify.
I think I'm fortifying in this game too as like a reaction to getting CC'd by the Doomfist, and I'm doing it so late, like I'm not...
You're already losing a little bit of HP by the time, you know, and like this is just a disaster. It's like as soon as you see, you know, here, I know they're low, but you're low and you don't even know it yet. You know what I'm saying? You look at your cooldowns. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, here's the funny thing is you're a tank and all, but if you don't have Javelin, Spin, or Fortify, you lose a 1v1 to Hanzo most of the time.
Right.
Of equal skill. He Storm Arrows, he hits you in the head, you're done. That's the funny thing. Everything is great until you don't have your cooldowns. Then you're toast.
Yeah, then...
So the positioning itself was okay. The timing of when you were taking those positions, maybe not so good. But then also, like, how you were managing your cooldowns was also questionable.
If I had... I wanted that Mercy, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the Javelin spin, because you're like, I'm safe, right? So I just want to try and chase these guys. It's reasonable, you know? Nice Javelin. I wouldn't be backing off here. With my Cassie up, I'd just be playing this corner here.
Okay.
Don't think about protecting your team. Think about pressuring the enemy team. That's the best protection you can provide. Go, 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 go. It's reasonable. Good. 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 We're gonna Orisa on the flank, right? Alrighty.
Yeah.
Back. No. Your team is not here. You're trolling.
Yeah,
your team is not here. Your team is not here. You got 4 members of your enemy team here, which is as good as it's gonna get, or of your team. And now, certainly now, you're gonna back off. Oh,
yeah, okay. See, and then my DPS was popped, and I get saved from my own mistakes.
Careful.
Oh, like, and I want that Hanzo.
Oh, careful. Oh.
Yeah, that was kind of lucky.
I mean, it was okay. Your teammate. Let's put it this way: your teammates got kills when you needed them to, right? So then, I guess my question here is: okay, right here, we're pushing in here. What happens if the Genji doesn't die? Would you have backed off to the corner? I hope so, right? I hope so that you would have ended here, and then again here. Okay, so the Doomfist dies. If the Doomfist doesn't die there, you still back to the corner, right? Surely.
Yeah, because I'm just anticipating them just rushing in.
Sure. So as long as you're responding to what actually happened, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
No. This doesn't do anything. This is a cooldown for nothing.
Yep.
No. Even like the Javelin, right? Like, why Javelin even? You know? And then now your Fortify, your Javelin, and your Spin are down. No.
I think what I was thinking of, was like, if I get a little cheeky, I could pull off an ult. But then I realize as soon as I press E, I'm like, nope, that's dumb. And then I back up. But I think it's the problem lies not in that, but in just pressing E to begin with.
Right. It's like you're trying to like stuff them in the choke, you know. But like honestly, like, that's not good, because if you look at it, like, who can see them in the choke right now?
Yeah, nobody.
Just you.
And I'm running like a Widowmaker.
We want them to like come to like here, then we use our cooldowns where we can actually shoot them. So you're down everything, and then what this means is that now you have a moment of fragility, and it's at the most important point of the fight. You need to be, if anything, now is when you need to be playing aggressively, and you're not.
Yeah.
Okay, or we're not doing it intelligently. Yeah, you see what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of like, the thing is whenever you die as Orisa, a lot of the time you can always trace it back 10 seconds ago or 5 seconds ago, right? What did I do that put me in this hole? Was I not doing enough damage? Was I misusing a cooldown? Was I mispositioned on cover that forced a cooldown unnecessarily? Was I shooting the wrong target? So that, you know, and so on. I mean, it's risk versus reward, right? You're like, I think I can get a kill there. You didn't get it. It's okay. And at least now you guarantee cap, so it's all right.
Yeah.
There's nuance to it, right? Like for example, like what you're doing right now. Is it bad? Maybe because you don't have your Fortify, but I understand what you're doing. You're trying to chase staggers. Let's get them, guys. Let's get them. Just be careful. Just be careful, right? And then like right now, this is feeding. Because you've pushed beyond the corner and you don't have any defensive cooldown. You might die here. If this Hanzo hits a shot, you might die. Nope. Your Widow hits the shot. You're good to go.
Okay.
Little thing as well. Now that the Hanzo's dead, where should you be?
Up.
Right?
Yeah.
No reason to get close to these guys anymore, at least when they're full cooldowns.
Yeah,
so this is fine, but I would be like, you know, putting it reverse Terry. You know what I'm saying? Up the stairs.
Yeah. And then I spear for no reason.
I think a spear is understandable.
Yeah, it was just late.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, you know, if you hit a spear here, he takes a lot of damage because he's standing still and he's not doing damage. It might mess up his engage, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
The problem here is, what? Why? You know.
I think, yeah, I was trying to push him into my McCree.
Okay.
But
a lot of the javelin has to make. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got this. Good. No. It's like it really truly.
I can like telegraph all of my
yeah.
all of my cooldown disadvantage now.
There you go. Good target priority here, but careful. You're down. You're down. You're down. Nice. Javelin. But out. You know what I'm saying? Until you get the HP back to where you can go back in. You know. Because what's happening is nice. The goat. Let's go. I swear it's just like we have an aneurysm on this Orisa. It's like he's so nervous every single engage. Oh gosh. Okay, is this one more fight?
Yeah.
I forget when you said you swapped. You know, you see no Hanzo here, so do you see how much you're egoing with your spam? You know, totally fine. Good spam. Oh shoot, Orisa, or excuse me, Orisa, Zenyatta, Hanzo. Right? Don't stand here. Now it's hard.
Ew. Yeah, and he hits his shots.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like you got to be in or you got to be out versus these guys. Right now, being in is just too far. I would be like, you know, back off a corner, play cart. You know, maybe go from here, see what you can do from here. Like look to push in. I mean, to be honest with you, it's rough. You know, it's just this map. You know, they're trying to give defenders an advantage in some way, shape, or form. If you are going to do something like this, make sure that you're as close to full HP as you possibly can. Javelin spent, immediately transition to fortify so that you don't get headshot, and then you know maybe that can work from there. But this is like, you know, rough. Is this when you go Sigma? No, you're brave. All right, let's watch one more fight. You got time for one more fight?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Good attempt. He dies.
Yeah. If you want to do like a quick micro on my Ramattra, that would probably be more helpful.
Let's do that then.
Just like one fight.
Different code. Okay.
I might switch to Ram this VOD. I don't know. But on this Havana game, I can.
Sure.
Wait, I need to go. Show chat there. This is the game I was telling you about where they had a lever at the end and we like still took the L, which was actually tragic.
Which round? Which fights do you want to look at if we were to look at like one or two?
Probably either first or second defense would probably be fine.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think there's like a specific fight, but
all right, sounds good. Let's take a look. A lot of Ramatra's cooldown management. You know, making sure that you're actually getting value out of the cooldowns that you're using. And then when I don't have X cooldown, adjusting accordingly. Sounds familiar, right? That's what Orisa has to worry about. Like even there, like right there, the E is intentional, the shield is intentional, but then as soon as that's done, you know, where's my corner? Immediately on the corner, because you're going to start taking chunks of damage. Did you want to Nemesis form right now, or would you have preferred to just stay the corner and shoot?
No, Nemesis form was dumb.
Yeah, it was.
I'm just reacting to his Nemesis form.
Right.
But I have the supports. My supports are behind me. I have the corner.
Right. So just stay here and shoot.
I don't need the health yet.
Yeah, stay here. And you need to stay the corner here and shoot, because if you peek this and shoot, because you don't have your E, because you don't have your shield, you can't poke.
Yeah. Something I've been trying to do, I've been focusing a lot on Ramattra, is having... Let's go. I'm too deep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Something I've been focusing a lot on Ramattra is my shield management.
Yeah.
Because for a while it was almost like my Orisa spin. I was just shielding whenever I had it, but like I think it's like an 11-second cooldown, and
it's
like
pretty long. Yeah.
So I don't remember what I was watching, but I watched something. I think it was from you actually, and it was just like, okay, I need to actually use my shield to block things that need to be blocked. Like, why am I using it at full health?
Right.
So I've been trying to focus on that, and then I was watching the Pro-Am last week, Like, there's a couple of Ramatras that were just throwing up their shield mid fight, and it didn't seem to be like it was doing
No,
anything. And I'm not even
no,
close to like that level, but I'm like,
no.
why are they shielding here?
No,
It
no,
doesn't
and
make any sense.
back in Ramattra mirrors at like contenders this past winter, when there was a brief Ramattra mirror meta and like contenders and stuff, Ramatras that did that got their teeth kicked in over and over and over again. So yeah, it's a really, really important point. Like right now, it's like this is what allows you to stand here as long as you just did, right? Without that shield, you're cooked.
Yeah, so I knew the Widow was there, and that's exactly why.
So now E, Nemesis, go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I find it kind of interesting that you're not even using your E here.
I think I wanted to get him. I was saving it for when he started, for when he was going to start to back out.
Sure.
And then I put it a little farther.
Sure. Makes sense. The shields have made sense. The Nemesis forms maybe not so much sense. Because like here's the thing is like again here like this shield totally fine, but maybe it was used in response to like, oh shoot, I took damage. I think just like swinging wide beyond this corner was a little greedy, you know. But you're just very much like, let's go push punch. But it's like, oh, it's just so hard to like reach that, you know. Like you just have to be more patient. Like in a lot of ways, you're kind of like a Sigma, you know. Like you get it picked, you can't reach even with your speed and with your shield.
Yeah,
that is not amazing. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
I'm like, dude.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Yeah. It's
yeah.
unfortunate. Okay, let's watch a little more. Treat everything like super disciplined. I use corner. If I'm using Nemesis, it's because I need to use Nemesis. If I'm not using Nemesis, I'm not using Nemesis. If I want to push aggressively, then I need my E and cannot E like that, right? Because if I use my E, then I'm losing the opportunity to be able to push aggressively. I'm losing opportunities to poke. Like if I have my E now, this might enable me to poke more. Like right now, when am I going to shield? When am I going to shield? When am I going to shield? So it allows me to focus on the casting while turning my back to the other one. Seems reasonable, right?
Yeah.
I think your shield's okay. But then you use your E and then you look away from the guy that you're using the E on. Like would you use your E at all here, or would you throw E on backline to prevent them from walking forward so that you could burn Ramattra?
I might have an incorrect view of E because it's such a short window that it's actually up, and I think a lot of the time I use it as like area denial, and I think that's probably a wrong way of thinking. Not all the time, but a lot of the time.
I think it's more about like, is that the best use of the cooldown? Like you look at something like Orisa Javelin, there's a lot of nuance with it, but ultimately because it's such a low cooldown, there is a little bit more leeway. But you got a 12-second cooldown ability here. If you use it, getting it for area denial is not usually going to be the highest return on investment. Yeah. So like right now, we can already see a better value of the E. Already. It took us 1 second to see that.
Yeah. My Ramattra mechanics are also a lot better than my Orisa mechanics.
Yeah. This is another one with like just flank awareness. Like this is the guy to go.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be aware of that because he should just be dead.
Yeah.
Again, the E. You see it?
Yep. The Ramatra's just...
E right now. Bang. Hi, you're like, oh shoot, I don't want to wake him up.
Yeah.
Punch the wall.
Yeah.
Don't use. Don't. Now you could use it if you wanted to. That would have been a great opportunity to use E right there as he's trying to kite away.
And it bounces off of him. I'm just like a couple seconds late.
So yeah, oh nice. Okay, so if I just had to say like one thing for your Ram just to throw in there, it would just be about E. Is area denial E the highest return on investment? Make sure plan I wouldn't say plan, maybe just like goal for Nemesis form, right? What am I actually doing with this?
Yeah.
And then you can kind of pretty much just look through your VODs and have a pretty decent idea of like whether those are lining up. Okay, what about your Orisa? Because that was where we spent the majority of our time.
Yeah. Obviously, like literally just get better spins, and that will be so much better. Actually stack my cooldowns, or planet target priority was huge for her.
playing around cooldowns with positioning.
Yeah.
Don't just spin for no reason.
Yeah.
And javelin mechanics a little bit, which is obviously it's going to come with time, but if you put a little bit of focus on it, it's going to help. You know, it's going to help.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
I don't think so. If I wanted to
Free replay review. Remember? I'm
What?
guessing what you're going to ask. You have a free replay review.
Oh.
So anytime in the next month, if you get a game on Ramattra or Orisa or Diva or Winston and you want some extra feedback, shoot it my way. Give me like 4 or 5 timestamps, and I'll give you some feedback.
Okay.
I assume that's
I'll
what
be
you're
sure to do
asking.
that. I actually was not going to ask that. I
Dang
was going
it.
to ask,
Okay.
but no, that was helpful regardless. I was going to ask. I played a game, I think yesterday on Dorado,
Yeah.
where on the second point, it was maybe the weirdest second point of Dorado I've ever played. They
Mm-hmm.
like switched to Hog. It was like nothing made sense the entire game. We won it, but the whole second point, I was on Ramattra. They were like going on and off the high ground, and I didn't want to switch because I had my ult up, and then we were like, it was just a constant like stalemate.
Yeah.
And then a similar thing happened on defense where I felt like I couldn't reposition fast enough to take a fight, and I was just like losing to not being on the low ground. And I know the obvious answer is like, okay, maybe swap and pick a hero that can take advantage of like high ground
Yeah.
stuff. But I feel like if positioning is one of my larger issues, what's a way I could practice or improve in that area practically and like not get stuck in fights where I'm like, I need to move and I can't. I'm stuck in this bad position.
I mean, I had a coaching session just previous to this one with a Kiriko, and this isn't exactly something that's super specific, but it's at least practical. Is taking the time between fights to really think about like, what do I think, like even incorporating ultimates into the situation, be like, where's the best position for me to be, like using that downtime productively by thinking ahead of time about what and where you need to be, like that draw to second point, like, okay, can I clear high ground? Okay, no, not with a card. Okay, so then how do I play in a position to where high ground matters less, or I could deny the value of that high ground or whatever?
Yeah.
And then is there a way that I could rotate to high ground? What ultimates do I think they're going to use from high ground? Just like thinking more about it during downtime can kind of be like the prevention that prevents you from getting into that. Because remember we talked about with Orisa, like you're dying 10 seconds before you die.
Yeah.
But if you're not thinking about the, how to position, where to go, and just kind of like running it down, or not even running it down, just kind of like autopiloting with where you're setting up, then, you are already dead, kind of a thing. So I know that's a very like broad answer, but, to more of a broad question. And that's also where you can use the replay code thing as well. If you have like, let's say, a couple of different fights from a couple of different games, you could send me the different timestamps from different games and be like, hey, how do I position here? How do I position here? How do I position here? But I think broadly just thinking about it more ahead of time would be helpful.
Okay. Cool.
Any other questions?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, mate. Keep in touch. Use that replay code review.